Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I want to do your spiritual principle a day in a meditation for August the 20th. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation and see what we have. The title of the meditation for today is Practicing Service in All Our Affairs. Service gives us opportunities to grow in ways that touch all parts of our lives. That comes from the basic text, chapter 9, just for the day, living the program. The basic text describes who we used to be in active addiction as devious, frightened loners. Many of us come to NA with very limited, healthy, and productive life experience. We may never have held a legal on the books job and don't have the skills to get one. Or we may have skills and experience, but our dodgy work history reflects our using more than our employability. Our relationships, if they even still exist, are a mess with our loved ones, with ourselves, with a higher power. Our self-serving behavior and our aversion to being truly vulnerable and intimate with others have kept us isolated. And then there's the spiritual deadness so many of us arrive with, and either the hardness or the utter fearfulness that comes with it. In meetings, we hear members share that their lives are bigger, amazing, and beyond my wildest dreams. Initially, we were skeptical at best, especially when they also tell us that it's not because of material gains, but because of what they've gained by being of service to Narcotics Anonymous. A member shared, through service, my relationship to humanity was restored. Seriously, all of humanity? Most of us get involved in service because we're told that's how we stay clean. We don't fully grasp its holistic benefits until we experience them ourselves. Through our NA commitments, we learn basic accounting, public speaking, and good communication skills. We learn how to listen in meetings to a fellow member who needs to vent, to people we don't even like. We learn how to treat others with respect when we disagree. We learn to show up to do the job no matter what, and more. These are qualities we take with us wherever we go in all our affairs. NA doesn't just help us stay clean. It transforms us into people who can make a positive impact inside and outside of the rooms. What aspects of my life have been touched by NA service? Through service, what can I do today at work, at home, or wherever I go to make a positive impact? Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please, and thank you. Talking about service here and the impact of service and comparing these polar opposites, right? Comparing the two ends of who we are today, where we started when we first came into Narcotics Anonymous. We may have had, life skills, and we may have had training or a college degree, but by the time we found Narcotics Anonymous, a lot of the things that we call ourselves establishing, right, had fallen apart. A lot of our marriages fell apart. A lot of our jobs fell apart. Our employability went straight out the window, right? And so if you're in that position, that's okay. That's okay that that's where you're at. You won't always be there though, right? I want to tell you that you will not always find yourself in those dire straits that you're in when you first came into Narcotics Anonymous, because life gets better. Just staying clean helps life to get better. Now, some people would beg to differ. They would say, well, I got clean and I found out I was sick. I found out that I had, I had legal things that I had to deal with that were hanging over my head. And, they would tell you all of the negative things that mostly relate to dealing with the wreckage of our past. But if you were to follow that person around in Narcotics Anonymous and watch how they grow over a period of time, their story would be a lot different today. Maybe it wasn't a bowl of cherries when they got here, but they're finding today that they're having relationships with family members that they love. They have fellowship. They have friends, actually. How many of us actually came into the fellowship and can say we had friends? I didn't have friends, and I wasn't quick to make friends. Sometimes us women, we say, oh, I get along better with the men than the women. We say that sometimes. Well, that's an issue. That sounds like some mommy issues. That sounds like something that needs to be resolved through your step work, right? And for the men, I can't necessarily speak for them, but, a lot of times we come into the fellowship, this is the point, without a lot of pieces put together, a lot of pieces missing from our puzzle. But doing service work has the opportunity to kind of, I want to say it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's a shortcut because we don't really want to promote shortcuts in the fellowship, but I just want to say it's like a tool. Doing service work is like a tool in Narcotics Anonymous that allows you to sharpen some of those living skills that you have lost as a direct result of your active addiction. And when you sharpen those living skills, you fine tune how you communicate. You learn how to listen to someone that is sharing that you can't stand. Maybe you knew them from the streets and you can't stand them. You hate the air that they breathe, but you learn in Narcotics Anonymous with these living skills, right? To listen to people. Did you know that active listening can be a form of service to other people? When someone comes in and they're having a really, really hard day, and the meeting is only lasting an hour and a half, and everyone only has an opportunity to share 3 to 5 minutes, and someone is venting, you have the ability to be of service to them by giving them your undivided attention. Not whispering to your neighbor, looking at your phone, none of that. Just paying attention, not that uncomfortable stare, but that understanding that your eye meets theirs when they're talking, and they know that you are listening to them. And they probably 9 times out of 10, if you can't stand them, 9 times out of 10, they probably can't stand you either. And they're trying to figure out why so much compassion is coming from you as they share their horrible day or their horrible experience. That's a form of service, if you ask me, right? And so we learn through doing service work in Narcotics Anonymous how to be tolerant of people, how to actually do what we say we're going to do. If we say we're going to open the doors for the meeting and get the coffee started, we're there. We're there early and we got things set up for the meeting. Yes, we did exactly what we said we were going to do. You know what that helps you do? When you get a job, what that will help you to do? Instead of just arriving right on time, punching the clock right on time, that allows you to arrive at your job a little bit earlier and be one of those employees that the boss can say, you know what? I can depend on this person. There's been people that have done service work within the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, gotten a job and found out that they make great managers. They've been promoted on the job just because they learned how to be of service to other people in Narcotics Anonymous. And those people skills that they developed was something that someone noticed on the job and say, I need this person to be in charge. I need this person to run this shift. There's plenty of us that have done it. Matter of fact, there's plenty of us that figured out that not only are we an asset on our jobs, but we have our own visions. We have our own dreams, and we've gone out and established our own businesses. And now we're employing other people. Yeah, we become bosses. So those are things that I have personally experienced in my own life that I want to share with you as a direct result of my being able to be of service in Narcotics Anonymous. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you're going to have a beautiful day on purpose. Talk to you tomorrow.